Hi children, I am really excited to meet you in this video session. It gives me immense pleasure and happiness to see these beautiful faces. Really, I am in the pink of health to meet you at this hour. I hope you too are keeping fine. You are doing your homework and being safe at home. Dear students, today I am going to take 9th standard English poem. 9th standard English poem. First of all, let me give an introduction about myself. I am Anthony, PG in English from Bharjasnar Matriculation Higher Secondary School, Arakonam. Before entering into the topic, let me give a small background about the topic. As I told you, stopping by woods on a snowy evening is the topic that we are going to see today. This poem is written by a well-known, celebrated American poet, Robert Frost. Robert Frost. A man who has written poems, playwright, and he has received 4 Pulitzer Prizes for his outstanding work on literature. The famous work of Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken. The Road Not Taken. Students, I hope once you reach higher studies, you all will come across this beautiful poem called The Road Not Taken. This is one of the best poems written, and today most of the readers, they recognize the value, the guidance given in the particular poem, that is The Road Not Taken. But today what we are going to see, or what we are going to describe, is stopping by woods on a snow evening. Through this poem, the poet going to pull between mainly 3 people, that is man and death. Man and death. Next, man and nature. We can call it, this is the main theme of this particular poem. Man and death, man and death. Man and nature, how they are interrelated. How they are interrelated. Once man is born in the world, he has to do something in the world in order to survive in the world. But one day he has to face the death. In between, what he is supposed to do? What are things he needs to do in the world to survive, to get a good name and fame? Next, in this poem, man has got a close relationship with the nature. He has to enjoy the beautiful nature that is created by God. That's what we see in this poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snow Evening. It's written by Robert Frost, 1922. A beautiful poem which gives moral message for each and every one of the readers. And all his writings, most of his writing has given to the readers a kind of message, a kind of value towards the readers. He uses a simple language which everybody can understand, but at the same time he uses a poetic devices, the rhyming scheme, alliteration, simile, imagery, everything uses in the particular poem. About the poet, Robert Frost was born on March 26, 1874. Died January 29, 1963. This is a small history about this great man, Robert Frost. Stopping by Woods on a Snow Evening is an inspiring poem by Robert Frost. When I say this is an inspiring poem, understand poem, this word inspiring. What do you mean by the word inspiring? It really motivates us. It really motivates. It really encourages to do something for the man as well as be oriented with the nature. The poem Stopping by Woods is a Snow Evening is a meaningful poem. It has got value. It has got good message for the readers. It conveys the important idea of keeping up one's duty and responsibility when alive. Students, you have to understand this is what the main theme of this poem. Wherever you are, whatever you do, whatever status you are, whatever position maybe, do not worry. The poem Stopping by Woods on a Snow Evening is a meaningful. I have underlined the word meaningful. Why I have underlined the word meaningful? Because this poem gives value for our life, moral values for our students. Especially you need these values as you are growing up in the society. It conveys an important idea of keeping up one's duty. Remember here, one's duty and responsibility when alive. Wherever you are, whatever position you are, whatever status you are, keep your responsibility. What is the responsibility? The work that you are doing, the commitment that you are putting, the objectives should be alive. That means it has to go, move on. Never get stagnated in one place. Never say, it's enough for me. Don't say. Never. Travel. That's what they say. Life is a journey. It's not a destination. Life is a journey. You have to go on. That's why I put here responsibility. The responsibility means objectives. Wherever, whatever I do, this is what the most important thing in our life we have to learn. Keep on going. Never get stagnated in one place. Because once you get stagnated, you become lazy. You become dull. You become gloomy. You do not know what next. But when you keep on moving forward, really, you will have an enthusiasm, an interest to go forward, to do something adventurous. Because when you do something adventurous, when you do something riskful things, really, you will be a role model for others. So, my dear student, this is a brief introduction about the poem Stopping by Woods on a Snow Evening. Robert Frost is known as the nature poet, modern poet and the lyric poet. This is some of the other important explanation about the poet Robert Frost. The timeline and the achievement. Robert Lee Frost was born on March 26, 1874 in San Francisco, California. Robert was dropped out of a lot of schools when he was younger. 1890, his first poem was published, Roanoke Treaty. 1903, published his short story, Trap Nest. 1923, Stopping by Woods on a Snow Evening was published. 1923. Remember, this is the year when he published Stopping by Woods on a Snow Evening. As I told in the beginning, he received 4 Pulitzer Prizes. 4. That is one of the greatest prizes given to the person, the writer who works for literature in America. So, these are some of the honors that he received from the government as well as from the people. The theme, what is the theme? Keeping promises keeping promises. It's not only just making promises, keeping your promises. How to keep a promise? Working hard, traveling, moving forward, traveling miles, walk, never stop, never say it is enough. Move, keep on moving, keep on moving. My dear children, you need this kind of energy to move forward. Never say, I got 90 marks, it is enough for me. No, next I have to score 92. Arun, don't say 98 is enough for me. No, next I have to score 99. Keep on moving. Until unless you reach the pinnacle. That's what we people try to reach, the pinnacle of glory, success, victory. The theme: isolation, choices, man and the nature and the world. This is what I have explained in at the starting of the poem. The tone. The poem has a sad, melancholy and a calm tone, very silent. As we as we go through the poem, we will understand how sad the poem is, and melancholy. Melancholy means very sorrowful, and calm, silent in tone. There are 4 stanzas. In the beautiful poem, in this beautiful poem. Each stanza has got 4 lines. Let us start with the first stanza, the very first stanza. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though he will not see me stopping here to watch his woods filled with snow. So, my dear students, now we have to understand the rhyming scheme of the poem. That's what I mentioned here. No, though. Here, bo, snow. A, B, A. This is the rhyming scheme of the poem. Next, what is this woods? It can be called as a jungle. Where you find a lot of trees. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village. As he was traveling on a horseback. One night he was traveling in the evening. Suddenly he happened to see a beautiful, attractive, charming, lively place filled with trees. And there was a beautiful lake. The lake is filled with ice, snow. Beautiful trees. He was very happy to see this beautiful scenery. There he stopped. Just whose woods? He did not know whose forest this, whose trees this. I think I know. I think he saw the owner of the woods must be somewhere nearby. His house is somewhere nearby. He will not see me stopping here to watch the woods filled with snow. He thinks, if at all I stand here to watch this beautiful creation of God, I don't think that he is going to scold me. I don't think that he is going to ask me to leave out the place. Let me stand here and enjoy the beautiful nature which God has given. So, to watch these woods filled with snow, all the trees, everything is filled with snow. Even the lake filled with snow. See, the first 4 lines, the first stanza, he talks about the beauty of nature. How man should enjoy the nature. We should be one with nature. Never we have destroy nature. So, this is the rhyming scheme. No, though, A. Here is a B. Snow is a. So, he knows the one of the house which is located in the woods, and it would be wearied. Wearied means, the word wearied means strange. Just to stand and look at the house on a wintry day. This is what we learned as the first stanza. Dear students, we are moving to the second stanza. My little horse must think it's queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and the frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. The darkest evening of the year. Dear students, see the rhyming scheme. Rhyme scheme. BB, CB. Queer, near. Year. Queer, near, and year. This is the another rhyming scheme. My little horse. What do you mean by the word my? Is a poet, Robert Frost. Little horse must think is queer. Means the word queer means strange. Strange is something peculiar. Is something unpeculiar. First time. To stop without a farmhouse. Stop without a farmhouse. The horse thinks, why my master has stopped here? There is no farmhouse nearby. This is not the routine way, our daily used to where we used to travel every day. Why he has stopped? The horse thinks in a strange manner. Between the woods and frozen lakes, understand the term frozen lake. As I told in the first answer, all the trees are covered with the snow. Now the second answer, even the frozen lake also is frozen, completely ice. The darkest evening of the year. What do you mean by the word darkest? Beautiful, lively, charming. This is what you have to understand, students. The poet has used only one word, darkest evening of the year. So lovely, charming place of the, he says, this is a place I have never seen. This kind of experience never I had in my life. So charming, lovely. And he says, let me stop here to see this beautiful nature, to experience the nature. The horse thinks that it's wearied for a stop in the middle of the woods without a farmhouse nearby, and this time of night. He thinks, the horse thinks, why my master has stopped here? There is no farmhouse nearby at the middle of the night, and the horse just thinks over. This is some of the images that I have given you, just to understand, to make you understand clearly some of the images. See the frozen lake, the frozen lake. Horse, farmhouse. There is no farmhouse nearby. I did not know why my master has stopped here. I did not know why my master has stopped here. There is no farmhouse nearby. Why? What happened? What happened to my master? He has got a peculiar questions. To stop without a farmhouse nearby. To stop with, this is a farmhouse usually what they have out in America, where they travel on a horse. The darkest evening of the year. See the darkest evening of the year. So charming it is. So charming, lovely, and the darkest evening of the year refers to, see the place, so beautiful it is. The place is charming, lovely, and above all it is stunning to see the nature. My dear students, now let us move to the third stanza. The third stanza. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask, is there some mistake? The only other sounds the sweeps of easy wind and downy flake. And a downy flake. My dear students, Now, in the third stanza, we have to understand the rhyming scheme. C, C, D, C. What is C, C, D? Shake, mistake, sweep and flake. Shake, mistake, flake, that all goes with one category, and that's why we call it as a C. This is a D. Sweep is a D. So this is rhyming scheme C, C, D, C. So understand, students, you will be getting question in your appreciation. What is the figures of speech applied here, or poetic device applied here? Kindly note down C, C, D, C. Now let us go to the poem line by line. He gives, who is that he? The horse gives harness bell a shake, usually around the neck. Around the neck, the farmers they tie a bell around the neck of the animals. Here also, the horse has got a harness bell and it shakes. The horse just shakes its head. To ask, is there some mistake? Have I committed any mistake? Why did he stop me here? Is it because of my mistake? So, the horse started to ask some questions. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. Flake means small, small pieces. All the places is covered, so totally it is dark. All the trees are covered with ice. Small, small pieces are lying down here, and that is what we call it as a flake. It sounds like a Amish life, but in the winter time in the woods. Woods refers to forest, a jungle. It refers to a forest or jungle. So, in the third stanza, the horse is curious to know why my master, the owner, has stopped here. Did I commit any mistake here? Did I commit any mistake? Why he stopped here? Everywhere, so beautiful trees. All the trees are covered with the snow, and small pieces of snow everywhere is scattered. So, we will move to the next. He gives his harness bell a shake. This is the harness bell. Just note down, this is the harness bell. What we call it as a bell, or where it has got a harness bell. To ask, is there any some mistake? Have I committed any mistake? This is some of the pictures that I have given you, my dear students, just to understand the concept. How the people travel in America by horse. Now, my dear students, now we are moving on to the theme of the poem. That is the last stanza. The woods are lovely. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promised to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Students, you need in your life these last two lines, just keep in mind. Here only we are going to learn the moral values Robert Frost tries to give to the readers. What is the rhyme scheme applied here? D, 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 D. Deep, keep, sleep, sleep. So wonderful. See the poet, he has used a very simple, ordinary language, so that the common man can also understand the concept, the moral value. Deep, keep, sleep, sleep. D, D, D. So, my dear students, poetic device or figures of speech, you will get a question in appreciation. So, keep in mind, go through and understand the concept. The woods are lovely. The forest, the jungle, the trees are so charming for me. Beautiful, fantastic. Lovely, dark and deep. Yes, so nice to be here. Let me stay here for hours and hours. Let me see, because I am one way or other captivated. arrested by this beautiful nature. That's what he explains. The woods are lovely, dark and deep. It's beautiful. Let me remain here. I want to spend whole my life here. But, remember this word, the conjunction, but. I have, what is that I? I refers to the poet. The poet. Poet is the I. I have promised to keep. Hey, it's not just I come here to enjoy. I have some objective responsibility, aim, goal in my life. What is that promise? Promise refers to my responsibility. Responsibility, the objectives, the goal, and so on. We need to go. And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. This sleep refers to what we have ordinary everyday sleep. That's it. But there is another meaning. Sleep refers to death. It refers to death. My dear students, before I move away from this world, I have to do something in the world. I have to keep my promise. I have to keep my responsibility. I have to show my eagerness to do something. My aim is to become a doctor, an engineer, or IAS, IPS. This is a promise. I have to fulfill this promise before I sleep, before I die. I have to fulfill. See, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. My dear students, the former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru kept last two lines on his table. These two lines, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep on his table. Every day he looks at those words and says, yes, I have to do something for the people. Yes, I have my responsibility. I can never give up. So, these lines really gives a moral for all of us. The woods are lovely, deep and dark. It sounds like a person enjoying his visit by walking through the woods. Yes, he is enjoying. He is tempted by the nature, arrested by the nature. My dear students, woods, and it's time for him to go and keep his traveling and keep his promise. That's what I said. The beginning of the class I said, never get stagnated one place, but keep on moving. My dear students, practically can I say an example? You are walking on the road. As you are walking on the road, suddenly you happen to notice here a beautiful flower in somebody's garden. You are attracted, tempted by that beautiful flower. You go near and stand and watch the beautiful flower, the nature of beautiful flower, and enjoy. It's not you are not the owner. You are not the owner. You are just tempted to go and watch the beautiful flower, stand there, watch, enjoy the beautiful creation, the beauty of the flower, enjoy for some time, but never stand there alone. Never. You have to keep on, go there, watch, and keep on moving, because there will be something else for you. There will be something. Never get stagnant, never be arrested in one place. Keep on moving, because you have got plenty of promises, responsibility, aim, goal in your life to reach the pinnacle. My dear students, this is the model that you are going to learn. And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep, before I die. Sleep refers to death. I think it refers to death. So, having come to the conclusion of this poem, where the author tries to give message to all the readers to do the responsibility or the objectives with determination and with willingness. Just to 1 minute, students. What is the central idea or theme of the poem? In nature, you can find beauty and peace at heart. Yes, peace, calm. That you will get it with nature. You cannot choose what you really want to do it. You have promised to keep, which are your duty and responsibility to fulfill. You cannot get stagnated in one place, but you have got a responsibility to go forward. The rhyme scheme of the poem, as I told you when I explained line by line, the same thing I explained to you. What is the rhyme scheme? Here, in the very first stanza we have got A, B, A. That is no, though, snow. It goes with A. Here it goes with B. Next, B, C, B. Square, near, ear. B. Lake, C. Just I have given here a beautiful quote from Robert Frost. This is not in your poem, my dear students, but when I was going through the quotes of Robert Frost, this is what I have taken you. Just to have clear understanding about the poet. The poem must reach the eyes, the ear, and what we may call the heart or the mind. Yes, anybody can write poem, but the poem must reach the mind, the ear, the heart, and everything. Then only it becomes meaningful. It is the most important of all to reach the heart of the reader. Yes, it has to touch the heart of the readers. How it can touch? By a simple language. This poem really touched all your hearts, because you understand that I have promised to keep before I die, before I sleep. I want to become a doctor, I want to become an engineer, I want to become an IPS, I want to become an IAS, etc. That is your promise, that is your responsibility. My dear students, keep on moving, never get stagnated in one place, because once you are getting stagnated, the place becomes filthy, foul smell. Never get stagnated. Yes, having come to the conclusion of this poem, I was really happy to take this beautiful poem, meaningful poem, moral values which he has got. My dear students, let this poem be an inspiration for you. Let this poem be a motivation for you to move forward. Understand the last two lines. I have promised to keep before I sleep. Sleep refers to death. Keep your promise. Walk forward. Move forward. Never drop your gait. Rather, look straight. Walk forward. And you will reach the pinnacle of success, glory, and victory. Your life, your name will be a role model for others. Thank you.